Well, your hair looks like an eagle's nest this morning, Maude. Welcome back to Geekly News, a look at the nerdy stories flooding your feed this week. Hi, I'm Steve Zaragoza.
And I paid $200 for this haircut. I'm Maude Garrett.
Well, you got a good deal.
In film news, we've seen more images from the highly anticipated Batman v Superman movie, including a pic of these two superheroes facing off. Batman with his glowing blue eyes and an angry-looking mouth, and Superman looking more seductive than threatening. If anything, he's threatening to kiss Batman to death. And if I'm to be perfectly honest, that is a movie I'll pay all of my money and his to see.
Sexist and awful as usual, Maude. The other images include Batfleck with a woman who we're wondering will be better than either Maggle McGaggle Giggle Haggle, who is also my spirit goblin, or Katie swallowed up by Scientology Holmes. Also, we have Superman looking slightly worried that everyone is trying to touch his heavenly body, especially the chickies wearing Dia de los Muertos face paint. I mean, what is happening in these images?
There's also Batman brooding by his own signal, which kind of defeats the purpose of using the signal because it calls him, it calls for him, and if standing next to it, it's like calling yourself. And then there's Luthor with the hair. And if I'm to be perfectly frank, I hate everything about this image, and I don't think I'm alone in my thoughts.
You're not alone, Maude, except for in bed at night. Speaking of mans, the Ant-Man film is gearing up to be released on the 17th, and the press train has fully left the station, with lead star Paul Rudd being interviewed by Aaron Robinson of Clever Movies. I have not heard of this site as well. And it seems Rudd can't stop farting. During the interview, Rudd was having a bit of fun with the terrible chair the junket provided. Let's watch.
What types of things do you do in your suit that nobody knows about?
I guess, you know, say I just do the same stuff that everybody else does. Next question.
Next question.
I know those feelings, Aaron. This man next to me farts constantly. It's like his rectum is a massive open wind tunnel.
Speaking of massive open wind tunnels, how's your vagina after spin class this morning, Maude?
While on the subject of tiny little men, Ant-Man news continues to dominate the geekosphere, and director Peyton Reed has announced he'd like to make a prequel to Ant-Man featuring Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man.
Now, Reed told news outlets that, quote, "Listen, if we're lucky enough to be able to do a sequel or even a prequel, I'd be way into it. I've really fallen in love with these characters. I was always in love with the characters in the comic book world, but there's a lot of story to tell with Hank Pym."
We'll hold off on our opinions until we've seen the film, but from what we're hearing, Ant-Man sounds like another winner from Marvel. Now seriously, call us Marvel fanboys and girls. Do it in the comments, I bet you will.
We like DC too, though, because you guys shit on us the other day when we talked about DC.
We have feelings even though we don't really consider each other's.
Listen, I love Batman. I think he's one of the greatest comic book characters. I just happen to favor Marvel.
I think I caught you masturbating to Batman once.
I sure did.
You asked,
Dressed
"Where
as
is he?" whilst looking down.
Speaking of the Batcave, did you go to your gynecologist this morning?
Staying on with movies, it seems that all is going wrong with Kong.
Oh God, you are really proud of that terrible joke, aren't you?
Yes, I really am. This reimagining of sorts is a prequel to the classic Kong tale and will be called Kong Skull Island. Filming on the movie was supposed to start in fall for a March release in 2017, but was pushed back. And due to this, both Michael Keaton and J.K. Simmons now have scheduling conflicts and have left the gorilla-sized project, leaving Tom Hiddleston to man the fort.
I don't know about you, Maude, but I always feel that scheduling conflicts is a big old cover-up for I don't want to be a part of this piece of shit movie. I don't know if it...
You know, Steve, for once I actually agree with you.
Thank you, Maude.
Great kid, don't get cocky.
Okay, another fucking Star Wars reference. I should have known. In casting news that does excite, geek hero Bruce Campbell is back as Ash.
Oh, from Pokemon?
Dear God, woman, have a nap. I'm talking, of course, about The Evil Dead, which is now a TV series aptly named Ash vs. The Evil Dead, because everything is versus everything these days. Sure, Bruce is looking a little older than in his Army of Darkness days, but is still a badass with that chainsaw hand. Word from Raimi and Company, Ash still works at S-Mart and lives a pretty dull and boring life since his adventures from the early Dead films.
Campbell says of his character, he was perfectly happy doing basically nothing, telling lies about how he lost his hand in bars late at night. That was basically his MO, so he's not really the guy who should be dealing with this right now. But he is. He's our guy.
Well, I hope this shit's good. I don't know how I feel about an old Campbell running around with younger characters fighting off the dead, but we shall see, won't we, Maude?
We shall certainly see, now that we both wear glasses. It helps us see through the lies and the bullshit that you throw at me. Anyway, guys, that is it for your Geekly News. I'm Maude Garrett.
And I'm Steve Zaragoza, and remember, when we know, you'll know. Surprised you could fit that jacket over your devil wings.
As for the new Proton Pack, it's pretty different. I like how rugged and dirty the thing looks. There's some digital displays, a giant fan/exhaust looking thing, and a familiar-ish neutrino wand. That's what it's called, and I know it because I'm a fucking nerd.